Now, sneaker beef in skateboarding isn't something that you hear about every day, but when it does happen, it usually says a lot more about culture than it does about shoes. And that's exactly what went down when Nike SB dropped their Air Max 95 collab with Eric Koston. What should have been a clean, nostalgic sneaker release turned into one of the most talked about moments in skate culture because it touched a nerve with none other than Stevie Williams. And what looked like a marketing rollout ended up becoming a conversation about ownership, respect, and who really gets to tell the story of skateboarding.
As a young skater in the mid 90s, your list of like kind of must-haves, like a decent car is probably Honda Civic. You had a collared shirt, like some sort of polo, and you had chill shoes. At that time, I feel like it was like, these are skate shoes, these are for skating. And then when I'm chilling, there's a whole different genre of footwear. Definitely a lot of basketball, running shoes, even cross trainers, whatever like caught my eye. It just kind of wasn't cool to wear skate shoes just out. When you knew you're off the clock from skating, chill shoes are on. You want to look fresh immediately. At that time, when we travel abroad, overseas, wherever it may be, Tokyo, Paris, London, that was my tourist attraction, you know what I mean? Was like just going into shoe stores and see if there's something there that was different than what I could get here in LA. Even the small towns, like the 95s, found them in Northampton, England. We're all hanging out in front because it was kind of hot, humid inside the warehouse, so you come out outside. And Kareem Campbell walked up and I was like, "Where'd you get those?" He always looked fresh. Yeah, that was the first time seeing Air Max 95.
First, some background. The Air Max 95 has always been iconic in street culture and especially in skateboarding. But if there's one skater forever linked to the 95, it's Stevie Williams. In the late 90s, Stevie was rocking the neons heavy. There's even a legendary photo of him mid-switch heel flip in a crisp pair. And when Transworld's The Reason came out in 1999, Stevie dropped the line, "Run, skate, chill."
We're just having fun. Skateboarding is the sport. It's the ultimate sport. See, now he wants me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not even a skateboarder. I'm an MC. He wants me.
I think it's kind of fun when the cops come. Like, run, skate, chill. Run, skate, chill. Like, go to the store. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, cops coming. Like, I'll make you always be on point. That's what's up.
That phrase became synonymous with his style, which was fast, raw, and effortless. So when Nike SB brought the shoe back, it wasn't just a sneaker drop for a lot of skaters. It was tied directly to Stevie's legacy. In 2024, Nike SB released the Air Max 95 SB, putting Eric Koston front and center for the campaign. The ad's tagline, "Run, skate, chill." To Nike, it was just clever marketing, tying a lifestyle line to an old video clip. But to Stevie, that was his phrase, a piece of skate history directly connected to him, repurposed without his involvement. He later said in interviews that Nike had shown him a Koston video before the rollout, but he never approved the use of his line. And when the final campaign dropped with his words stamped across it, Stevie felt disrespected. Stevie didn't hold back. On Instagram, he called out Nike SB and Eric Koston for using his words and his history without giving him credit. He said, "I don't even own or trademark the name Run, Skate, Chill. The culture owns that shit. I was making a point to protect the culture." He also made it clear this wasn't just about him. For Stevie, it was about principle, about how the culture of skateboarding, especially its black pioneers, often gets used in marketing campaigns without recognition. In his words, it's all about principle. I did a good 3-day run of me speaking up for the culture. Meanwhile, Koston himself didn't say much in the campaign video. He even joked that he probably wouldn't skate in the new 95s because he didn't want to ruin them. The internet, though, they had plenty to say. Skate forums lit up. Some fans sided with Stevie, saying Nike disrespected him by not involving the one guy most connected to the shoe. Others thought Stevie was overreacting, pointing out that both he and Koston have worked with major brands for years. And of course, the word culture vulture started floating around. Some people accuse Koston of co-opting a moment he didn't earn. Others just shrugged it off as Nike doing what Nike always does, selling product first and asking questions later. At the end of the day, this beef wasn't really about sneakers. It was about general respect. Stevie Williams isn't just another pro. He's one of the first black skateboarders to break through into the mainstream. He founded DGK, he brought Love Park into skate history, and he helped define what skate style looked like in the late 90s and early 2000s. So when Nike took his line and slapped it on a campaign without him, it felt like another example of the culture being repackaged without the originators. And whether you agree with him or not, Stevie's reaction forced the conversation into the open. So what do we make of it? Was this a simple marketing slip that Stevie blew out of proportion? Or was it a bigger issue, one that shows how easily corporate skateboarding can erase the very voices that built the culture in the first place? The truth probably depends on how you see skateboarding. If it's just about tricks and shoes, maybe this one doesn't matter. But if you see skateboarding as a culture built on history, stories, and respect, then Stevie's point hits different. One thing's for sure, this wasn't just about the Air Max 95. It was about who gets credit, who gets heard, and how skateboarding remembers its roots. So, let me know in the comments, do you think Nike should have involved Stevie in this release, or was it just another case of a brand moving forward without looking back? Either way, the Air Max 95 beef between Stevie Williams and Eric Koston proves that in skateboarding, nothing is ever just about shoes. Peace.